If you are the person looking for your purpose in life, you make yourself relevant and develop the best version of yourself, this is the show for you. I'm Charlotte Ibanez. I'm your host for the Seed of Life TV. Change doesn't happen overnight. Every incremental step you take daily will add up to who you will become in the future. In this show, you will learn how to succeed, optimize, and lead in your industry. It is our aim to plant a seed into someone's life every time. In each episode, we invite people who in real life have the same struggles like you, like me, when they were starting out on their career or business. Like many of us, they started also looking for solutions, and through their tenacity and grit, they were able to discover what they were set out to do. Today, we have the privilege to have a discussion with Govind Singh Negi. He is an HR and business leader, a social activist with dual masters in computer application and business administration from Symbiosis University, Pune, India. He has been awarded Top 100 HR Tech Minds in 2018, and just recently he received an HR Leader Award from Great Place to Work. Currently, he is designated as Senior Director for Talent Management and Delivery Center Lead for a global IT company called Three Pillar Global. He is also the founder of an HR social group called HR Success Talk. So now let's continue our discussion on expanding your influence and impact. Has there been any, of course, a lot of successful people would have a sort of a turning point in their life. Yeah, we talk about all the wonderful things that you have accomplished, but not. It's up to you if you want to be specific about it. But there are, of course, in our life, we are not human if there's no drama, right? There's no plot twist to it. So, like any other hero, you would have that kind of plot twist in your life. So, what is the one thing that you could probably cite as a sort of a turning point in your life, and you made it a resolution for yourself that, okay, I want to do this way, and what are your learnings from that turning point, and what made you decide to uh, turn a new page? Of course, it's what are the learnings that you want our viewers to learn from you or from that incident?
Yeah, it's a long story, but I'll try to keep it short so that people get the gist of it. It was my first job, and I think it started from there. Let me just give you a background so that people understand the story I'm trying to tell. Basically, I'm a Bachelor of Computer Application from academics, and then I did my Master of Computer Application. In India, people tend to stay in their own line, right? If you're a computer engineer, you like to be a computer software engineer, not a talent person, right? So I did my Bachelor of Computer Application and Master of Computer Application. And when I was into my first job, which happens to be in talent and not in computer, and the simple reason was that it was in 2001, I started doing my job. And that point in time, there was a slum in IT industry. Even people who are in IT were given pink slips. So of course, nobody was going to hire fresh graduates. But I wanted to start and earn something for myself and my family. And so I happened to get a job in talent field. I worked for this company for 6 years, and I joined them as a trainee HR, and then I reached to a chief manager human resources when I completed 6 years with the organization. I used to report directly to the chairman, but inside me, that was I think the turning point. Inside me, I knew that I'm not a true talent person. I loved this field. I wanted to continue and pursue my career in it, but I knew that I don't know much about it. Whatever I learned in 6 years, and that too maybe very limited learning, because I was at the highest level of talent role, and whatever I used to see is used to be considered as the right thing in the talent, which I knew might not be the right thing. I spoke with my chairman, and I said I wanted to go outside, explore the world, go under some mentor and learn this HR, like, under some seasoned professional. He was kind enough to say yes to it. And that is then what happened. What happened is, um, I actually failed 50 times to change my job, which might sound extravagant for a lot of people, but exaggerate. But I'm not exaggerating. I
Really?
got rejected 50 times in the interview, merely because I didn't know labor laws in India, because I was not academically from there. And that point in time, labor laws used to be one of the big things you need to know when you're going in HR field. Not today, but that time. And nobody was there to teach me. And somehow I learned something. I cracked one, and I got a job in a company called Dinev India Limited, Private Limited. That was my turning point. And just to give you a context, that I was a chief manager HR, and I took a job of senior executive HR, which is basically like a in a career progresses first, second, third stage. And chief manager, if you want to say a scale of 10, it will be 10. Then the senior executive is supposed to be at the level of 3. I chose to be a small fish in a big pond than being a big fish in a small pond. And I chose to work under some seasoned professional. I worked for that company 5 years. Whatever I know in talent today is the foundation which was built at that point in time in the days. That was my turning point in the life. Maybe that's the motivation for me to build HR Success Talk, where people can freely share their knowledge, right? If somebody wants to make their career in any particular field, we should have a platform where people can come. Today we have Google. Today we have so many platforms, right? For people to go YouTube, right? They can go. But that point in time, it was very difficult. So that was my turning point.
Wow, 50. I can't believe. But what amazes me is your tenacity, your resilience, because a lot of people, it's if it doesn't turn out one, two, thrice, they will shift and do not focus. So, yeah, I mean, you're true to your word when you mentioned from the beginning of this interview about consistency, because you are so consistent in the fact that you wanted that and that you focus all your efforts to do that. Oh my. I really like the way you handle yourself on that you don't mind being a small fish in a bigger pond, and that now we understand you found your purpose now because of that particular incident, and a lot of people can resonate on that and learn from your experience on that. And so I know that in the world standard, we could say that you are already successful. I mean, not everyone can be both a founder of a global organization at the same time occupying a senior director role. We've seen a lot of people who are probably still there in their position for the past 20 years and been wanting to progress, but people around them or the opportunities are not there. So is there, in your life, as you assess it now, is there something that you still want to accomplish, that you want to pursue? Um, is there something that you still think that, okay, when I wake up every morning, I want to do this. I still want to do this. I want to. Are there still dreams that you think, or stones that you haven't turned yet, that you think that I have to do? Or
Well, Sharon, I think that will always be there. If you ask me this question 10 years down the line, I will still have something that I will say that I've still not accomplished. But that's what makes a human, right? That you always wants to accomplish more things. The question is whether you want to accomplish something which benefits you in society, or you want to accomplish something which destroys you and your society, right? Maybe what I think we have to focus more is to be more constructive. If you ask me this question today, I'll tell you what I wish to. I think still think that I'm not able to reach where I want to, and turn some more stones. Two things. One I think is I always look at my successors, even in my own organization or HR Success Talk or Amrita Devi Foundation. I always want to build my successors. Now, the definition of successor changes from the time to time. So when I was building a team of 10 people, maybe a successor would have been a manager. When I built a team of, let's say, 50, a successor might be a president. Today, we have country heads in different part of the world, right? So I will always keep working on making more successor for ourselves, so that I am always replaceable. And this community works even if I am not able to devote as much as time I should. So the more stones to turn there, and I think more people will join in on those places and contribute. The second I think is that HRST and ADF both has to make the impact I want to make on the world. They have made little bit, and I think there are a lot of scope to make more impact. We have touched upon 4 countries so far in HR Success Talk, and trying to, I will say that we're still trying to, cascade our vision there. We are not there yet. We have to involve more people, make it a self-sustainable engine there, right? So working in its own, and they're driving their own business problems and trying to find solutions. Similarly, on Amrita Devi Foundation, I would say that as we work for girls and women, I wouldn't want to make more girls and women in rural part of India to be more independent, so that they have employment opportunities, they have jobs in hand. It is just started, it is still not done. So this actually makes me motivated every day. I wake up in the morning that I think these are a few more stones to be done. And I think that should be like this. This is till the time you breathe. I think that's the best thing you can do, is to keep contributing to the world the way you can.
I love the way you said it, that to create that impact is to have more successors. I haven't heard that for a while. More people would be concentrated on themselves and say that I want to do this, I want to do that to create an impact. But saying that you want to create more successors is like multiplying yourself. So you're like growing the cells. And it's nice because it's a global organization. And I'm just curious, you mentioned earlier about Amrita Devi Foundation. Amrita is named after your mother. Can you tell me why you named it after her?
Well, everybody needs some motivation, right? To drive something and feel connected with what you want to do. I chose to work for rural hills part of India called Uttarakhand because I belong to that particular state. So my father came to the metro cities to work, but I was born there. I don't have memories, but my father, migrated the whole family. And then my mother is one of the motivation for us to be connected with that part of the country. And second is that this is something which my sister also wanted to do. Nowadays, she's a housewife. She used to work as an academic head of a lot of women polytechnics in India. So when we were having this conversation and we said, okay, what should we name it like, right? And we wanted to devote this to our mom, who has definitely took a lot of, difficulties in raising us and making us what we are today. And I think the second reason is that we always feel very passionate about it because it is named after our mother. We don't want to let it go down, right? We have to work on it. I think that's one of the reasons, a devotion to her, and for us to feel motivated that this is something which we have built and people will remember to her with this organization. Again, even after me and my sister, we have to build in such a way that this foundation keeps working and keeps working for the rural part of the world.
Yeah, amazing story. And I've seen in the past those skills that you are trying to impart to the young girls that will become women. And this kind of empowerment through vocational skills is something that would establish their livelihood. And not everyone would really spend time to create a foundation. You rightfully said, consistency coupled with action will take you places. And this is where the Amrita Devi Foundation it is now. Since we are talking about impact and we have been talking about influence, expanding our influence in your life, what do you want to be known for? Because as we are speaking, a lot of people out there will be able to hear your message. And of course, if there's one thing in your life that you want to be known for, something that I would say to ominous to say this, but something that you can write in your epitaph, what do you want people to remember you by?
That's a very interesting question. You know what? If I think about that, there are a lot of things which anyone want people to be known for, right? But if I just think very, very hard to it, what I would say, Salet, is that when people think of Govind, they should think that he was an honest person who was always transparent and who has a very honest desire to support the communities, societies, country, and the world. How much I was able to achieve, it does not matter. I want people to see that he was honest to take some step. He was never afraid to take the step. He was the one who was standing in front, whether folding his sleeve, doing whatever it makes to do to make sure that particular initiative is working, and also going away from the initiative when he feels that there are people to take over it. He doesn't glue himself with anything he's doing. He wants to give it back, let somebody drive it. So a very honest and transparent person is something I would say that people should remember me like.
And you are, Govind. So thank you so much for your time today. It's evening here in Dubai. It's probably evening there in India. And any last words that you may want to encourage them in terms of how they would expand their influence and impact to the world? Because you mentioned that you're not about you don't care what would be the result. You just want to be known to be an honest and transparent person, and you're actually the impact is creating a ripple right now. So but how do you want to encourage them? Many people have not seen value for themselves, so how do you want to inspire them or motivate them to expand their influence in whatever state they are in?
Well, Sharon, I think if I have to say one thing to people, is I always say this thing, that is, life is very short. If you have any desire in your heart and you want to work on it, don't wait. Either you take the initiative and start yourself, or you get connected with somebody you think are living those ideas and dreams. So whether it is you want to learn something, don't wait. Like, people sleep on things so long that it becomes a frustration for them. I would say that they should come forward and say, you know what, I want to do this, let's try it. Work doesn't work, does not matter. What matters is that you have an intention to take steps. So that's my last message for this interview. Please, please, please come forward. Take small steps. Find people who you can resonate with and living your dreams. Connect with them. Live your dreams with a complete group as opposed to individual. But if you think that you can drive it individually, why not? Whatever it is, take your first step.
Wow, that's nice. I love that. And I just heard that I just saw a quotation similar to what you said. It's like a staircase. Our life is a staircase, and you don't know what you're gonna end up with when you reach the top of the staircase. But in order for you to see, you have to take that first step.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what a lovely closing, Govind. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers will really learn from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Charlotte, for inviting me on the show. And I hope that I was able to add some value to the audience.